It is time for the financial information related to Waitr Holdings. And in this video, I'm going to have a look at the most up-to-date ones I can find, which is the quarterly earnings for Q1 of 2021 and also the annual report for 2020, because that just kind of gives you like the most up-to-date earnings and also a complete picture. If you are interested in the business side of things, then I will leave a link for my video on the business side of Waitr in the description down below. Firstly, let's actually have a look and see how this stock is doing. Right now, it's actually had a really good start to the day, considering the day range has been from about $1.40 to $1.62. It had a dip early this morning, and then pretty much leading into the afternoon, late morning, it has been slowly dropping back down. 5 days it is in the red. 1 month it's in the red as well. 6 months it's been taking a bit of a dip, looking like it kind of was around $3.7 per share. Now it's less than half of that. 1 year, yep, it's been a kind of slow descent, but it is descending. 5 years, whoa, it looks like it did have kind of like a high of around 12, and ever since then it's pretty much just, yeah, I mean, it did have a spike in July 2020, but not looking good. Starting with their annual report, which just kind of gives us that kind of complete picture. Then I'll actually have a look at the 10Q form, which is their first quarter. Now, unlike most companies which were negatively affected by the corona pandemic, I think most food delivery companies did quite well. Most of them, not all of them though. Starting with the revenue, bear in mind all of this is in thousands. It looks like it's actually been going in the right direction, going from 5.6 million in 2016 to over 200 million in 2020. Now, cost of operating for a company that actually has to kind of outsource and pay people to do the deliveries will be quite high, because a lot of their money goes to that. In 2019 though, they had total costs and expenses of almost $500 million, but for 2020 it was better, with operating costs at 177 million, whereas the revenue was 204 million. So they lost 291 million in 2019 and they gained 16 million. I'll be nice and say 16 million in 2020. Now, I know this isn't actually financial information, but it is really important. It's the amount of active diners they have. For 2018 they had 989,000. For 2019 they had 2.3 million, and then for 2020 somehow it dropped to 1.8 million. So it's not going in the right direction. It was going in the right direction, but it just somehow took a dip. This could be due to competition, which could be an indication that the market it's in is becoming a lot more saturated. Operation and support expenses consist primarily of salaries, benefits, stock-based compensation, and bonuses for employees and contractors. So the contractors being the people who do the deliveries. Sales and marketing is also going to be an expense that continues to creep up, especially as the market becomes a lot more competitive. Here's actually a breakdown of their costs. So for 2020, their operation and support costs actually went down, going from 147 million to 109 million. Their sales and marketing, which is something that companies really should invest more in, actually went down by quite a lot, going from 52 million to 12 million. They had another reduction in research and development and general and administrative. Most of their kind of loss came from, in 2019, goodwill impairment. Moving on to the quarterly earnings ending at the end of March 2021. So in terms of current assets versus liabilities, they reduced. Over the past 3 months, they went from 84.7 million in cash to 67.8 million in cash. Looking at the revenue for Q1 of 2020 was 44.2 million, and for 2021 was 50.9 million, which is an increase, which is nice. Income from operations actually went up quite a bit as well, going from 732,000 to 2.4 million. They still had a net loss though, going from, well, 2.1 million in 2020 to 3.7 million in 2021. Loss per share stayed about the same. Balance of shares at the end of December 2020 was 111 million, and when you look at that from the year previous, it was 76.5 million. So they have had a stock offering at some point between that time. Now, I don't know if they've had any stock offerings this year, but I'm sure we will find out. And that's it. The revenue for 2020 and the revenue for Q1 of 2021. Now, what are my kind of final thoughts on, well, Waitr Holdings? Firstly, in terms of the business side of things, I'm not really a big fan, mostly because it doesn't really stand out as something different to what's already out there, like Uber Eats and Deliveroo and a lot of the other types of food delivery services. The market it's in is highly competitive, and due to the corona pandemic, it's just gotten even more competitive. So unless Waitr offers something that really stands out, it's going to have a really hard time maintaining its market share in the future, especially when you're dealing with companies like Uber, which have a massive amount of resources. And there is evidence that it is starting to kind of lose that grip. In 2019, it had 2.3 million active users, and in 2020, it had 1.8 million users. So its users are going in the wrong direction. And in terms of revenue, although it has been gaining a bit of momentum in terms of its revenue, it's still not got that good a margin. As revenue goes up, its costs are going to go up even higher due to the fact that it makes a lot of its money through kind of contractors delivering food. So yeah, in terms of an investment, not really for me, but it could be a good option if you are looking to invest in the food kind of delivery network. And I'm not saying it's a bad company, it's actually doing a lot better than what it was, and it's going in the right direction. But as always, please bear in mind that none of this is meant to come across as investing advice. Please do extensive research before you buy any company, and never invest anything more than you're willing to lose. But yes, that brings us to the end of this video. I do hope you have enjoyed. If you have enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate if you hit that like button. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Thank you.